Alright, it's time for an aftermath video. Why? Well, because everybody loves aftermath videos, right? Alright, so we're going to start with my car that we drove here in Wausau. Today, 4th of July celebration, the 8th. Obviously, everybody knows 4th of July fell on a goofy day, so we derbied on the 8th. So, I'm going to start with my One Goose Lumina. What happened? Well, she's kinked a little bit harder. I did get to make a couple shots going forward. It looks pretty bad in here, but that's just because we didn't seal that axle back up. So actually the axle on that was still turning. So this car went through the heat. Me and Adam were able to run together. In the heat, here you go. It's embarrassing, but I will put my horrible weld job on there. Right there where I chunked my tie rod apart and then put a piece of angle back in between it, it broke. So I had no steering at the end of the feature. However, that did not really matter because my fuel pump was not pulling enough fuel. Now typically we have an inline fuel pump. You guys have seen that. It would have been right there. You could get air through it after we tried playing around with it, but there was a lot of air built up in the line. So actually we're afraid that the vent on my M&M Boys tank, I think that's plugged. So we tried to shove a chunk of wire through there and it wouldn't go through. So I think that the tank actually vapor locked itself. So I ended up having to go out for the consi, and you can see that my cap there isn't all the way down on the threads. I undid the gas tank about halfway so that enough air could get in it, and it did run just fine for most of the feature, or for most of the consi, sorry. I got to go out to the consi, made a few more hits. Back end starting to separate a little bit right here at the body line. So that side's a little bit of a concern. This side,
best looking one I've ever seen.
Best looking back end we've had. It went straight up right at our threaded rod. Definitely no issues as far as how that went. My biggest concern, as I climb up here, you can see where she started to cave here, the back part of the speaker deck, where the pillar started to collapse. Why did that happen? Right there. I've got a tire wedged in here, so it makes it a little difficult, but that entire seam is completely blown out. So the full trunk is starting to push its way inside the car. That's going to be our biggest point of concern as we move forward. Now, one thing we did notice, you look, this side's still pretty straight, no issues there. One thing we did notice, something that you guys have gotten used to, unfortunately, and now we're going to start getting used to, I guess. We saw some tranny fluid dripping when they put it on the trailer. And we see it. It's a little bit hard to see. Oh yeah, you can see the crack right back in there, right there. That housing, again, the extension off of the tranny is cracked. So she's going to have to be repaired. What's going to happen to this car? We have no idea. It's going to go to the barn. She's going to go to storage. Well, you guys know we've got a million things coming up. So that's going to be our focus for now. This is just going to sit and get comfy. It will get run again, we just don't know where. Now, the Regal. Would that front end seen better days? Now,
still not the worst one.
Still not the worst one, no. Adam was upset. Why? Because this is the first bumper he's ever had broken off. However, this car was built in the off season, and this is back when we were still using the Chicago Electric 110 welder, not using the Vulcan welder. So that may have played into it, may not. I might just be making excuses for Adam, but
that sounds good to me.
Yeah, Adam likes it. So, like I said, we went out in the same heat. Adam was able to advance out of that heat. He had blown one skid tire, this one over here.
Side.
We'll walk around this way. Yeah. Blew this one out. Of course, one that we just bought. But Adam thinks he can fix it. He thinks it just needs a new tube.
Yeah, just a tube.
And then he again went out for the feature and lost that tire yet again. But obviously this is just stock street tire. So we knew that was going to happen. You guys will see on the video, or will have seen on the video if you watch the actual derby. It was like a gravel type of track, but it didn't matter what kind of tire you were running. There was some horrible holes that were forming out there. Adam did get stuck once in the feature, and they pulled them out so that everybody could keep running. But they were pulling people out all night. Made for a long show, that's for sure. Up here, front end, Adam thought it was bent. I think that sub,
It's fine.
I think that sub's perfectly straight. Front end, a little bit crooked. Now, let's go to the fun part of the car. Adam's still got his hole.
It's bare now.
Ooh, we got some shortness going on back here. So, this, guys, this is the good side. If we get around, oh, hey, what's that hiding over in there?
Brought home the hardware.
Shazam!
Get goosed.
Goose. Somebody got goose. Well, a few people got goose. We got a third place trophy out of this beautiful rig here. And holy cow, guys, this is the little bit ugly side. I'm going to try to climb up here and get you guys a better view. Try not to kick Adam's trophy, even though he said hardware. We know these things are made out of plastic. So this thing folded hard. Guys, look at this door. It completely pushed in, wrapped around, and is sticking past the pillar. I mean, that's a...
And it's all still connected. That's just where it had to go.
Yeah, it's all still there, but we got some ugly going on. It's starting to buckle right under the tank holder. It's not really a protector. Honestly, guys, with as bad as this seam is right there, that's the biggest concern. This was separating as he was moving out on the track. It's just flopping. Like this whole entire back end is just, there just ain't much attached anymore. Obviously, everybody saw going out that this was the weakness, and he got hit plenty of times.
Car still rolls.
Here in the back of the car. It does still roll. Unfortunately, he did lose. You lose an axle?
I did, yep, on the other good digger.
So we got, yeah, and he got completely buried again there at the end. And two cars, guys that we ran in with in our heats, we knew if it came down to them and one of our cars that it was going to be 2-on-1. They did a hell of a job. They ran a good show. Good job to the FSU guys over there. So, oh, gotta get some more money shot in there, right? That should be Shazam. So there is a broken axle on that side.
Well, pulled out, yeah.
Yeah, pulled out. So can't get a great look in there. There she goes.
In the strut.
Oh yeah, we forgot about the strut. I forgot about the strut. Adam's on top of things today, guys. It's like a gazillion degrees today. I am burnt to a crisp, so I apologize if I'm not on my normal game here.
Look at that tan.
Look at that. There's another strut. There we go.
That ain't dirt.
How do you like that? That's one goose style right there. If you've already got a farmer's tan, why don't you burn the hell out of yourself? We'll make it worse.
I feel like a good chunk of bacon.
There you go. Take a look at that, guys. So what's going to happen to this car? Unfortunately, as much as I would love to see it running, we wanted both of these cars to go to the scrapyard. Adam did a good enough job. The Regal is done. The front end of this thing, honestly, guys, it could be run again. There just isn't enough left of the back end of this car to be worth piecing together, and we need the parts out of this car. So we're going to start getting this thing stripped here shortly, get this one out for the scrapyard, and we are going to start focusing on the Lodi compact team cars, the ones that you guys saw us start building our first videos.
They run 6 days from today.
Yeah, they run 6 days from today, so we are going to have another video up here shortly, and we'll be able to get some better updates. Obviously, we're starting to learn this stuff a little bit better. We were still very new when we were working on those cars when you guys saw them, so we'll get you an update on those once they're back to the garage, and we'll see you soon on the Lodi cars. We do want to thank all the guys that stopped out and said hi in the pits. That was awesome. People that said that they are enjoying the videos. That was really cool. Definitely something to see, being our hometown show, seeing that we have as much support as we do. We definitely appreciate it, guys. We're going to get to work on stripping this thing. Again, final results. Adam brings home the hardware. 3rd place at the Wausau 4th of July celebration Destructive Behavior Motorsports show. And he manages to finish off the Regal in the process. Guys, we really appreciate you following along. As always,
Get goosed.